Good. Then I guess we're
Cool.
good to go.
Shall we?
Yes.
So, thank you. Well, first I would like to thank to Sarah for inviting us. It's really a great opportunity coming straight from blockchain week in Berlin. Lots of stuff going on. So first things first, today there should be our CEO Matthias here, but unfortunately he was not able to make it. So I'm here on stage. I don't have the fancy presentation, well, the fancy slides and stuff, but I'm gonna still do it like, I think the way that you're gonna like it the most. And after that I'm gonna show you a few things. So the product owner gave me some pretty nice wireframes, so I can show you a bit of that. So as Sarah said, yeah, I'm the growth manager at Authtrail. What we do, we're building a platform that connects on one side the Polkadot parachains, and on the other side it enables developers, quote unquote Web 2 developers, to just come, plug in the APIs and build apps. So first I would like to ask you, I've seen that there are some people that are pretty familiar with Polkadot and some that are not. So how many of you do already know Polkadot? Okay, cool. And how many of you are developers? Okay, I'm happy about it because I'm not a developer, so in case if you're gonna have some very technical questions, you know, I can like post festum like give you the answers. Okay, so let me explain you first a bit our story. So we started in 2018 with some data integrity product. It was built on Ethereum, but then due to Ethereum issues, you know, high gas fees and everything, like we switched to Polkadot. But once we started working with all the parachains and connecting, like, you know, with Guild, Crust, Fala, so we realized that there are some issues. Okay, because I'm gonna just go a step back because I don't think you all know what is Guild, Fala, and Crust. So let me firstly explain how the Polkadot works. So Polkadot, I'm gonna just write it here. Like in contrast to the other parachains, Polkadot is like the kind of like the center which provides like the infrastructure and the security for all the parachains. So, and the parachains are kind of like the chains, kind of like the Ethereum, let's say. Let's put it that way. Maybe Hun can give like a better technical explanation. But so parachains are basically like the chains that are leveraging the power of Polkadot. So we have the Guild, Astar is one of them. We have like Crust that is doing the decentralized storage. And what we do, so when we started like connecting this, we realized that there are some issues. Like, I mean, not issues, but there are some challenges, you know, because each of the parachains has its own difficulties. You know, they are in different stages of development. Some are more developed, some are not ready yet to be, you know, like building on. Then the technical documentation is not, it's not the best in some cases. Each of the parachains has its own token, which is volatile. And if you want to scale the product, so if you want to build an app that is using all those parachains, you're gonna have like, you know, 4 different tokens, of which all of them is like fluctuating in price. And to handle that, you know, good luck with that, because it's gonna be a bit of a challenge. So what we're doing a platform that connects all those parachains, and we're basically in the background. We take care for the billing, take care for, you know, like all the updates. But more than that, we're kind of like curating the services that the Polkadot parachains provide. Because if, for example, if Hun would like to build the Web3 version of Instagram, he would need digital identity. You know, the Legion Tree guys here know what I'm talking about. So he would need some like a login. You know, the first page, someone that you would connect like a person to an account. You know, and in this case, like we would use Kilt because we are working with it. But once you log in and you come like to the feed, you'd also need like decentralized storage. You know, just to save all those photos that are on the wall. And the thing is, if you're new to the blockchain and to the ecosystem, it might be a bit confusing, you know, because you have like Ethereum, you have Polkadot, you have like, you know, Polygon and like many different ecosystems, of which each has like different advantages and disadvantages. What we would like to achieve is just make it easier, basically. And so for developers that are not native in Web3, we would like to give them like an easier like on-ramp. And we believe that like the right approach is just to simplify the UX and UI, to make a simple user interface, to handle the billing in the background. And it's interesting because now, you know, that we are developing some things with parachains. Like we're also, so some like issues are like popping up, and we're like solving them on the way. So yeah, that's basically in a nutshell what we're doing. So are there any questions to this point? Well, I hope I was clear enough for everyone that is still new to Polkadot.
Yeah. Are there any existing projects that are actually using your solutions?
So at the moment we are in the like we're still developing, because as I said before, we started with data integrity and we did the pivot like in like a few months ago, and by the end of the year it's going to be like the platform will be live. There are already some that are kind of like waiting for it. So yeah, they're not built yet, but I can show you the platform if this is. Yeah? Or any more questions? Yeah.
Do you guys have like a pricing model already in place, or how do you go about with your revenue model?
So the thing is, of course, like there will be like a freemium model, something, you know, like you need to give people like a chance to try it.
Yeah.
But the second part, it's not like really defined yet, but most likely it's going to be like, you know, scaling system. Don't know like what the how to say, like the triggers will be.
Okay.
So yeah.
When you say you handle the billing,
Yeah.
do you also store the assets, or like how does it? Where's the settlement layer? Is it?
No. So for example, with Kilt or like with Crust, in each cases, let's take for example with Kilt. You know, you need to make a DID, so the digital credential. You need to lock the tokens, and what in this case for us would be like, you know, we're working on doing is that we just like buy it like blocks of DIDs, so that we would be able like kind of like to expect what the pricing would be. And at the moment, even when talking with other parachains, this is kind of like well, it seems that it's the best solution, that we are just like buy blocks in advance at a certain price, and then we can kind of like do the you know, the average it out. Because otherwise, if you would be like catching like the daily fluctuation in price, it would be impossible to scale practically. So yeah.
One question: do you have an example from the real world, let's say not Web3 world, that is comparable to your service, so that non-Web3 people can understand what something they might use in?
So from Web 2, that's an interesting question. So there are some, how to say, like similar projects, like if you know Alchemy, but it's not really the same. So Alchemy, Anchor, Moralis, these are kind of like.
Not even if it's Web 2, like I'm saying, is it comparable to a marketplace? Is it comparable to a centralized service where that we might use on a daily basis without being aware of?
Yeah, so AWS, so Amazon Web Services. This is kind of like the model that we're going for. But in the Web3 world, in the blockchain world, it's Alchemy, Moralis, and Anchor. But Alchemy, it's like mostly handling the nodes, so it's not really because we are also focusing on the user experience, make it easier for users. But yeah, otherwise I think the AWS would be like the closest to what we're striving to. Anyone else? Okay, I'm going to just give you a sneak peek. Okay, so this is like a platform. So for example, here you're gonna have like the services like Crust, storage, authentication, the Killed, Fala, Astar at some point. Hopefully, also like put it up here. Yeah. So as a Web2 developer, you'll just of course like before that like create the accounts and everything, but then like attach the services. Then there are like few screens, like okay, authentication. This is like okay, the service management. I would just like to show you the last one, and then at the end, just get like the API that you would like plug it on to your app and build on top of it. So basically, to build a tool. On the top of that, APIs, so the stuff that like most of the developers know, but in the background, it would leverage the power of Polkadot. So that's what we are striving to.
And like the storage, like this is decentralized storage, is it IPFS?
It's an IPFS, yeah. So Crust is IPFS on blockchain, basically. Cool. Any more questions? Alrighty. So shall we pass to Hun now, or? Okay. So we can start with Hun, and after that, like we can start like a discussion.
Yes.
I think that would be like the most appropriate.
Yeah.
Alrighty. So thanks everyone.